Hello, I'm Red Pocket Watch, and this is Watch Pocket Gaming. Yes, it's a terrible pun, and I need a better intro. Let's go.
Bringing out the big guns.
Clever.
Soldier, spy.
Alright, so continuing my looking at things which are changed in the current beta and why they need to be changed. AI Station. So if you look at my team, you see the Frog, Scolder, Coco, and the enemy team is Penny, Ted, Sentry. Penny, Ted, Sentry, not that. Doesn't seem like too bad of an AI comp. But on the other hand, Frog definitely has issues. Scolder can have issues. It's variable. But the point is, the big issue with AI Station is simply the fact that it's only one lane. And this is why they really had to make the new AI Station 205, which has 2 lanes. So, nothing much has happened so far. It's just hanging back, farming droids. Okay, and we're getting kills. So, this kind of sets the trend for how this game goes. Spoilers, we get a pretty decent number of kills. Buying regen, because you really need to buy regen. Like, whatever your sustain option is, it's very difficult to manage on AI Station if you don't buy it early. And another kill. Yeah, so point is, like, we are able to get kills. I'd say that we were kind of outplaying the enemy team to a decent extent. We're not so well equipped for pushing, which can be a problem. But we can fight them one-on-one, and we shouldn't be too bad at pushing in theory. And we wouldn't be, we would be able to do it on any other map decently. But on here, because Ted and Sentry are both really good at just wiping creep waves, which means as you can see, our droids are almost never getting to their turret. Which means, obviously, if our droids don't get to their turrets, then their droids will get to ours. Perhaps more often than not. And then, of course, there's also the fact that we can't be too aggressive about pushing or even just poking the turret, because the Sentry, and he can just drop a black hole on us if we get too close to the turret, and we'll probably die there. Plus Penny can get behind and pounce us into the turret. And so, because they can outpush us, we get stuck in this situation where we're sitting behind the turret, having to defend there and try and wipe the droids as quickly as possible, which is not that quickly. None of us is really built for it. And that was so close. How did I end up not getting that kill? Yeah. I don't know, I think maybe I missed one tick of tornado. Obviously I missed the dash in the first place. And that was really stupid. Just walked into that airstrike. And now, let's see, this turret... No, it's not going to go down, because this is pretty early in the game, and we're still respawning fairly quickly. But it means that Coco is even more helpless than beforehand. Can't come out beyond the turret. And you know, on any other map, there's another lane that you can go to, potentially. But we come back. Get a kill. So yeah, I mean, looking at the like, Ted can have problems with overextending, and Frog can definitely punish that. Coco and Scolder can both displace him. So that's a thing. The same kind of goes for Sentry. So yeah, it's a pretty decent comp that we have. So there, I mean, you can kind of put it down to, you know, we're not a great team for pushing, that even when we got those 2 kills we couldn't push forwards. And also because we spent a lot of our health in getting those 2 kills. Which is why we're still having to just hang back behind the turret and wait for the droids to come over here. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say. Frog, of course, is pretty good against Sentry, because Sentry can have problems if he just gets like stunned and stuff, and can have difficulty pinning down Frog, who of course can just dash straight out of the black hole. That was a bad dash. I just didn't hit the ground with the hammer pants like I wanted to. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the kills, 5-2, we're out-leveling them a little bit. Not too much, but a bit. Let me look at the items as well. Okay, right, so Coco and Scolder both have Solar Tree. Ted and Sentry both have Piggy Bank. So I mean, that's notable. Solar Tree should not, like, if all other things being equal, Solar Tree will not out-level Piggy Bank until like 10 minutes into the match. It's something like that. It's definitely at least 10 minutes into the match. So we're at only 8 minutes and we're out leveling them. So obviously we're doing well. These kills are working out for us, but we can't push because there's only the one lane to push in. Of course, now that the front turret has gone down, while obviously this can be a bit of a problem, in other ways it's kind of good for us, because we're good with a lot of wide open space to work with. I mean, certainly I am, Coco is, Scolder not specifically, but more space means there's more forward for the enemy to get, to potentially be then thrown. And I can't believe I survived that. That was ridiculous. And we got a kill. I reiterate my point where I just now bought my boots. I reiterate my point where I kind of feel like we were outplaying them a bit. So now, we were briefly 3v2. We should have maybe been able to push, but we couldn't. Yes, getting some really bad dashes here, and okay, we both die. This is bad, and they should be pushing really harder than they are. What does Sentry even have? He's got lifesteal on his auto attack, but nothing else. Like, building auto attack on Sentry is generally a good idea, and on building auto attack on AI station, I'd say is generally a pretty good idea. But never mind. And so obviously here I'm going to jump up to try and cut them off. And I, yes, do get Sentry there. And now 3v1. We should definitely be able to push, yeah? Okay, they're in their drop pods now. Ted has finished dropping. We've managed to get the droids up to the turret though. This is a decent push. And okay, the droids are gone. That wasn't the best illustration of what I'm wanting to talk about. But it's... The thing is, I mentioned the point how Sentry, of course, can discourage us staying too close to the turret because he has black holes, and also he can just put mines out to wipe all the creep waves. And the other thing is Ted has knockback on his shotgun, which a lot of good players will tell you that knockback shotgun is a bad upgrade, and in some respects they're right. It's bad for like getting kills because you shoot someone who you want to kill and it knocks them further away from you, so you can't finish them off. That's obviously a problem. But it's really good for... Well, it can be pretty good for defending yourself, and it's certainly good for defending a turret. Relevant on AI station when you only have one turret to defend at the start of the match. And this definitely comes up at a couple of points. So yeah, with the extra space afforded by the front turret being down, obviously we're doing a bit better at defending this turret, though it's still gradually taking damage. I mean, that's one thing. Of course, in theory, front turret being down, it should be easier for us to defend, because while we're not necessarily the best at just wiping creep waves, we can do it, and the front turret being down means their droids have further to go, and so we have more space in which to kill them, so more time in which to kill them. That was a terrible dash. But this is then mitigated because it's AI station, and almost as soon as they get past where the turret used to be, there is this bounce pad, which takes them straight into the area where they have a shield, which is when it gets harder for us to destroy them. And so we don't really get as much of a respite as we would on any other map, or with any other setup. However, we look at that. Scolder was almost dead, we got a kill, and both Ted and Sentry are pretty low. I can never figure out how droids sometimes end up in the jungle. I guess it must be if they get knocked backwards onto the bounce pad and then go up here, and then they always end up dropping down after a bit anyway. Oh right, we were chasing Sentry while that was happening. Yeah, 16 kills to 5. We are, I suppose, spread across the team. We are 16 levels ahead of them. Debatably, we possibly should have just pushed more rather than spending all that time chasing Ted, because the front turret, but getting the kills is what we're built for, and obviously we didn't expect it to take that long, because it usually wouldn't. Yeah, this is... So yeah. This is the thing. On most maps, if you can get a kill, like if you have a comp like ours, we're obviously not really built for just straight out pushing. We're built for getting kills by displacing people and then possibly locking them down with Snare, Quake and Blaze, and then killing them with burst damage. And on any other map, that would work just fine, because we would do those things, we would get the kills, and then once we had the kills, we would be able to push. And if there was, a member of the enemy team who was really good at repelling pushes, then it wouldn't be that big a deal, because they can only defend one of the lanes. And we could just go to the other one while they were busy. But here, there is only one. Yeah, I just bought Thornfish specifically to get a little bit of extra turret damage, I think. And so this is why a lot of people will complain that AI Station 404, and now here, just there, you're seeing what I was talking about, where Ted with knockback shotgun was able to just stop the droids reaching the turret at all, which is a problem. It's particularly a problem for us, like against some other team comps it wouldn't be so much of an issue, say ones with ranged auto attacks, because clearly I just really wanted that health creep. But yeah, against Nauts, like if we were playing as Nauts with longer ranged auto attacks, then the knockback shotgun wouldn't be so much of a problem, because Ted would knock the droids away from the turret, but they would still be tanking the turret damage, and we would just do the turret damage ourselves by shooting it. But that doesn't work here, because Scolder is melee, Coco is melee, Froggy G is not melee, but has such a short range that he might as well be. It kind of feels like a lot of the time. Kill again. 21 kills to 5. About 25 levels advantage spread across the whole team. And we have a massive push, which cannot reach the turret. because knockback shotgun. And we're not particularly built for tanking the turret damage ourselves. I guess we could take a bit of it, but then again, like, Ted's knockback shotgun will knock us away as well. And so we're stuck in this position where, you know, we're clearly outplaying these guys by quite a bit, but we can't push at all. Like, with this sort of disparity, I feel like on any other map we'd have won already. And because I know there are some people who'll say that even on AI Station, the skill is generally the deciding factor. But I disagree. It's going to be the deciding factor in this match, but it's taking far too long to be the deciding factor for how big the disparity is. And if we were closer to the other team in skill, still apparently better than them, but not by as much, I don't think that it would work out so well for us. Because they just have the superior team comp, not so much in general, though you could make the point about Sentry being overpowered, potentially, but for this map specifically, they have the better comp and the better upgrades. But and that means that we just get completely stopped at that first turret. Until now, we finally did it. We got a double kill. And this is the thing, you get these situations sometimes on AI Station where it's like, you feel that it is impossible for you to push unless you kill this specific Naut on the enemy team. And then you do kill that Naut, and you find out that actually, no, there's another one who is about as good at defending that front turret. So it's a case of you have to get a specific double kill if you want to actually push that turret. And that's kind of difficult, because I mean, as soon as you kill one of them, the other will back up and play defensively to make sure that you don't get the turret. So here we finally have done it, and you'll notice, hang on, I'm going to pull this up. You see, it took us about 20 minutes to get that first turret. I wasn't paying attention to the exact time, but I think it was about 20 minutes. And then the game ends at 26:53. So, like, this is... because this is how big the disparity was. You know, our only problem was we couldn't get past that first turret. As soon as we were into that open space where we can actually play somewhat as we like to, it becomes a lot easier, and the rest of the match takes less than half the time. But this turret, it just stops everything. And I'm not sure why I didn't get out of that airstrike. But yeah, I mean, it's still not perfect even now, because they still have the ability to repel pushes really well against the one turret that we can sort of sensibly attack, because unless your team is kind of coordinated and preferably ranged, it's a bit difficult to attack the bottom turret. I don't particularly mind that. It's always been kind of an interesting mechanic, but it means that effectively you're kind of still on just the one lane. But it's working out here because we got a double kill, and then that meant Sentry had to just sit in the turret and Skolder could throw him out of it. And now the base is exposed. We can just go to work. And I suppose, of course, the snowbally nature with the bounce pad taking the droids straight into shielded range of the turret was obviously working in our favour. And fun fact, which some people might not know, Froggy G doesn't bounce very well when he's in Tornado. I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe he has some sort of knockback reduction while he's in Tornado, because bouncers do just use knockback the same as knockback abilities, which is why you can't use bounce pads. I'm specifically buying my auto attack here so that I can destroy buildings more quickly, because I'm sick of how long this game is taking at this point. And okay, I was pleased with that, and we're about to win the match. But like, this is my point, essentially. Let's see, 16, 14, 30... 46 levels ahead, spread across the team. 32 kills to 6. It should not have taken 27 minutes to win that match. The only reason it did is because this map is terrible, and this is why we needed a new one. So thank you for watching. And in the next video I will rant less, because I'll be talking about the good things that we needed because of the bad things. See you then.